Howdy. I just wanted, before we get started, I want to show you something that is kind of blowing my mind. A friend of mine sent me a screen capture from the New York Times, and it says Michele and Cello could have had stardom, but chose music instead. And that bass right there is the same as that bass right there. She was a huge impact on me. So absolutely humbled that ended up in the New York Times, and shocked and thrilled, and to be a part of this James Baldwin record she's doing in any capacity is mind-blowing. But what we're really here to talk about today, this is what I call an NJ5. And this one was made 20 years ago. Almost was completed in July 2004. So, and I started this company in 2003 in my garage in Yucaipa. And this was a design that I brought with me from I was working for Sir Guitars before I started my company. And then I went to, before that I worked for Steve Azzola in Escondido, San Marcos area. And while I was working for him, I had this drive that I was gonna start my own company one day. And I worked for John Sir for 4 years after that, 2 years and then 4 years. And while I was in that phase, I was sort of designing what I wanted for a bass guitar. And I was heavily influenced by Mike Tobias at that time. But this is what I ended up with after some refinement. And so these were made in my garage in Yucaipa, a little 3-car garage I set up in. I had just gotten a laser machine. And so I scanned my signature and lasered it into the end here. So it's a signature personal instrument that I made for myself. Now I've always been into solid body instruments. Ever since I saw an Ibanez a Firma bass, AFR bass, in the early mid-90s, and they had some made out of solid maple. I was like, wow, that is just too cool. And so that's why I had this obsession with solid figured wood instruments from then. And so I made this for myself. Now this is book-matched soft maple, spalted and curly. I actually finished this one myself before we found a great finisher. Almost right as this was happening, I found him. So it's a soft maple body. Right now it has our multi-coil pickups in it, the Polyvox, and it has a 3-band preamp in it with an active passive switch. I prefer volume, so that's what we're running here. This bass has had almost every soap bar pickup we made in it over the years, just as a test bed, and that's why I keep it around. A couple of details on it. It's all maple except for these are zebra wood stripes here, which I thought they matched the color. Not a huge fan of zebra wood tonally, but small amounts, and in this application I think it works fantastic. Bird's eye maple fingerboard, 33.5-inch scale, 19mm spacing at the bridge. I tend to leave these truss rod covers off because I need to adjust this thing on the regular every now and then, and I don't want to unscrew it and do all that stuff. I don't even know where it is. But in a minute, we're going to show you some other instruments that I'm actually going to finish making those covers for, because I have some 20th anniversary NJ basses in my shop that are 98% done. They need truss rod covers and they need cavity covers, and we're going to go over there and I'll show you what we got going on in a minute, and then I'm going to play them for you a little bit later. But I wanted to set the tone with this thing here, just show you what this is about. So 20th year anniversary NJ basses, and I did the same thing, solid woods, as much as I could keep the woods simple and solid, and there's a couple of crazy woods I used on these things too. So let's go check those out. Okay, well let's start with a raw one. This one is one that I made for myself, that's why it's not done. But this one has a piece of wood from family property in Minnesota. It's called balsam poplar, and this one also is book matched right up the middle. So this piece of wood was that thick, and we opened it up, and it looks like marble to me. It's kind of crazy how crazy the figure is in here. Now there's some holes I'm going to fill in, but look, there's some compromise when you have wood like this. But this was entirely done with templates, you know, hand carving. It's not done because it's not refined and finished out yet. But just to give you a sense of what goes into these, hand fit neck, just straight up old plexiglass templates, and then carving with rasps and I have these little ibex planes, string instrument carving planes, and flat ones and convex ones, whole different range of sizes. It's just a peaceful way of removing wood instead of a grinder and noise and things. And the older I get, the more I like that kind of stuff. Now let's look at these other ones, and we'll start with the other 4-string. Yeah, now this is just sort of an almost done in the shop look at these. A couple days ago I made cavity covers for all 3 of these, and these were done old school. I routed the recess with this template I had from the 18th of November 2015, according to the numbers on there. And then I traced it onto a piece of wood, and then I sanded the edge of it until it matched as perfect as I could get it to, and then made one out of plastic, and it drops in there pretty clean. So now the reason I have a brass one here is because those redwood bodies are so light, we needed the weight. Of course, the owners of the instruments might tell me otherwise, but that's where we're going. Solid maple on this one also. Now this one does not have a glue line in it. Now that's even more crazy extraordinary to me. You can see the wiring that we do on these things. This one's got maple neck, 3-piece maple neck with black veneer lines. It's a Coca-Cola fingerboard, Polyvox pickups, volume, tone, treble bass, passive, hip shot style A, face jack. I used to do these fancy side jacks, but I like face jacks. So I built these how I like to build them, and then I offered them for sale, and the 3 people that bought them allowed me to do everything I wanted to and finish them out. So now here's a redwood one, solid redwood body. This one has a curly roasted flame maple neck. This particular piece of wood is also from Minnesota. So another Coca-Cola fingerboard on this one. I guess a Koa N logo inlay on there. And this one has the brass plate laid in here just to get it all to fit in there. So these brass plates are going to get painted black. They're going to have the screw holes added to them, painted black, and completed. And obviously, this hanging over this is very dangerous. So we use extra attention when we're at this stage of the instruments being completed. But there's the inside of that one. Same controls, same pickups, Polyvox, volume, tone, treble bass, passive. I like to use banjo-sized frets. This is all hand carved, all the way up to the edge. So we'll look a little more closely at these when I play them in the studio. And the last one is this one, and it's another solid redwood. Now I had a really fat chunk of redwood that I made all these bases out of. Again, preamp, wiring in there. Same controls. This one is even lighter than that one. This one, I think currently without the cover on it, weighs like 7.25 pounds. And part of the reason for that is that this neck is spruce. Back in 2006, no, 2004, right around when I was making the bass I showed you earlier, my NJ5, my personal one, I made a bass that had gained fame being known as the spruce goose. So it had a spruce body, or spruce neck, and a pine body, and a pink ivory wood fretless board. And that's what we did with this. This was like a 20-year anniversary to kind of capture some of the things that stand out over the course of my career. And this was something I wanted to try again. And boy, did it pay off. The sound of this thing is just out of control. It just has so much organic richness to it. So it's a pink ivory wood board. There's Koa stripe down the underside of it, and that adds stiffness. This neck is plenty stiff. Truss rod works great. It's got a maple logo, N logo on there, a Koa headstock facing, and I mean acoustically, whatever, but you get to hear it plugged in and how I would use it in a track soon. So, but anyway, we just got to finish the cavity covers and then the truss rod covers, and these are handmade. Same thing. I made a template, stuck my wood on there, drew it, sanded it down to size, hand sanded it down to thickness. Kind of crazy stuff, but I really, again, I love the handwork. So it just needs to be detailed out, cleaned up, and then finished. All three of these are in that state. So that's what we're gonna do next, and then we're gonna finish the cavity covers, and these things can go to their happy owners at the end of the week. This is the NJ5, and it has a solid redwood body, book matched. It has a spruce neck. If you're watching this, you've probably seen the video where it was almost done. Now it's 100% done. It's pretty awesome. Stoked. We got the brass cover painted black in there. Looks great, and balance is nice. I'm sure the weight is still sub 8 pounds. I use a big fat U-channel, aluminum U-channel truss rod. And then there's a piece of koa in between here. There's a koa headstock veneer with a maple logo, and then koa also extends all the way to the end of the neck here. Fingerboard is pink ivory. I hand sawed these fret lines to this grain line that matches the color of the fret lines. That was the idea there. So it's just got this really organic, fun vibe to it. We finished the truss rod cover, which is a piece of koa, and I selected the sapwood light colored edge because I thought it looked cool matching the sapwood edge of the pink ivory wood as well. So we're running into the Star Lifter flat, but I have the modern switch on for the contour, and then a V76 plug-in, and that's what you're hearing. And you got to play on the note to have the note. Be in tune. So right now we have volume. What we have is volume all the way up, tone up, treble and bass, dead flat. That B string is insane. These are Polyvox pickups. This is our 2-band boost and cut, and we got 2 volumes here. So this is the bridge pickup. Neck pickup. Then we have tone knob here. This is all the way down on the neck pickup. I'm not a trained fretless player, so lay off me in the comments, please. That takes work, really. Bridge pickup, tone off. Okay, let's add a little bit of edge to it, maybe about halfway. And then you add a little bit of bottom and this bridge pickup tone. Then you add a little bit of bottom and the bridge pickup tone. Just blossoms. Probably too much there. And then you got bass and treble here. You just imagine all the different directions you can go tonally with this thing. It just has this, to me, really compelling voice. I think from the light sapwoods that are here, the redwood and the spruce, and this neck is definitely plenty stiff. The truss rod works very well. It's pretty dialed in. So that's this NJ5 20th anniversary model. Round 2, 20th anniversary NJ4. I made 2 NJ5s and 2 NJ4s. This is the only one that I sold because the other one's for me. This one's a solid maple body. 3 pieces of maple in the neck, a couple of black veneers, Cocobolo fingerboard, 34-inch scale, Polyvox pickups, volume, tone, treble bass, passive. They're all like that. I made them all the same. And it's really informative to hear the different wood combinations and how they play out into the computer. We finished the truss rod cover up here. I'm just going to show you a couple of sounds. What I like about it tonally, where I like to go, and we'll just walk through some things here real quick. So that's both pickups on, and the tone all the way up, and we're in active mode. I think I need to loosen the truss rod a tiny bit. So I'm going to have to play very carefully, or it's gonna. But I can do it. Okay, bridge pickup. Take the tone off. Added there to the bridge pickup. Very, very usable tone. Let's go to the neck pickup, and we're flat with the tone all the way up. Take the tone all the way down. There's the next 2 straight, you can hear that. What's that little bottom? Bring the tone back up a bit. Sorry I'm not slapping these. I can't. That's as close as you get. So it covers a lot of ground, and the thing about these Polyvox pickups is they're just, you can't hide the note. I mean, that's a mess, but you can hear each. They just come through so intact. Hello again, this is the 3rd NJ bass. This is another NJ5. This one also has a redwood, solid curly quilted redwood body. Curly maple neck, Cocobolo board, 34-inch scale, Polyvox pickups. We got the truss rod cover done. Also the cavity cover, nice black painted brass. Extra good shielding, and it makes the bass balance and feel like it's not too light. So here we go. Polyvox pickups, volume, tone, treble bass. That goes passive. I didn't like that for some reason. Okay, I'll go active. Tone off. tone on a bit. Okay, neck pickup. Bridge pickup, tone up. I'm not sure how that's going to come through the speakers on your earbuds or whatever, but here all those notes are clearly audible, and it's something that the Polyvox do. I mean, chords down there, it's crazy how well they stay resolved. Of course, anywhere. So, here you go. That's a quick overview. These instruments are really, they feel extremely versatile to me, and they all have their own very unique voice. And I'm just thrilled with how they've finally turned out. It took so long to get. I mean, they were started in the 20th anniversary year, and they're finished in the 21st anniversary year. But here they are done, and I'm stoked to be able to show them to you like this. And I hope you enjoyed these videos, and stick around because we're just getting started.